Hi, it's Patrick from JMP Cycles. Today we're going to talk about bleeding your brakes. So why would you want to bleed your brakes? What are the circumstances that would cause you to need to bleed your brakes? Generally, even if you don't make any changes in your braking system, it's a good idea to stay on top of bleeding your brakes at least maybe once or twice a year. If you have a spongy feel to your lever or to your pedal, it gets kind of soft, unresponsive. That's another good indication that brake bleeding is in your future. If you change brake lines, if you change brake calipers, change your master cylinder, all those things are going to require brake bleeds. And if you just change your brake pads, you don't have to bleed your brakes. But if any move to the system where you broke a line and possibly introduced air into the system is going to cause you to want to bleed your brakes. It's a pretty simple process. There's just a few tools. We're going to Phillips screwdriver. In this case, a 3/8 wrench for the bleeder screw on the caliper. We have a nifty little bottle here and 3/16 hose. And this is also a real nifty tool from Motion Pro. Basically, it's a one-way check valve. We'll get into that in a minute, but for $20, this is a handy thing to have in your toolbox. Okay, so we want to get started on the caliper, and it's important to have a wrench. You can't have a socket and do this, and you'll see why right now. So we're gonna go down here, we're gonna get set up on the caliper. More than likely, you're gonna have this little rubber cap on the caliper. Pull the cap off, and then you're gonna want to put the wrench on there and get it set. You're only gonna wanna to turn this, like break it like a half a turn at a time. So you see I have it set so it's ready to open it. If I was to set it over here, I'm gonna run into the brake line. So we're gonna set it over here. So we got a lot of throw in the wrench. And then this is where we would put on the hose to the bleeder screw here, like this. You slip it right over the top. You want a good fit. Normally 3/16 hose is the fit for just about all brake bleeding. So instead of using this, your typical 3/16 hose, we're gonna use our Motion Pro tool here. So instead of the hose, we're gonna go ahead and use this. Now, it's a one-way valve. It's got a little arrow on it. You want the fluid flowing through the caliper, through the unit and out into the bottle. So you're gonna want the arrow pointing away from the caliper, not into the caliper. So this'll, good snug fit, right over the top. Okay, and then this is gonna end up going in our bottle. We're gonna have to prime that here in a minute, but we'll get to that. Okay, for our next step, it could be a one-person process, but it does help to have a second person. For our 2014 Street Bob here, we don't have a crazy set of handlebars on or anything like that, and I can actually reach both the caliper and the lever, but it is easier if you have a second person. Also, if you have a set of handlebars that has a weird angle or something, and this is pointing in like pointing up or at a goofy angle, you're gonna wanna shift it so you get this fitting as low as possible. Right now, for our situation, this is fine. Another thing I like to do is if you can tie a rag or something around here, and if you have any leakage, because we're gonna open this master cylinder up, if you have anything leaking out of there, you're not gonna wanna get brake fluid on really anything, but especially you don't want it on paint. So if you have any drips or anything, this is gonna catch it. We're gonna crack the reservoir here to allow us to bleed the brakes. We're not gonna get all crazy. We don't need to take this all the way off right now. We are just gonna lift it up on there and let it sit. Leave the cap set right on top there, but you want it to be able to draw that liquid down. That is very, very full. Okay, I'll bring Sigmund in here to modulate the lever for me. And what we're gonna do is, when I go down, I'm going to crack open the bleeder valve. He's gonna squeeze the lever, then I'm gonna shut the bleeder valve. If I don't shut the bleeder valve and he lets go of the lever, it's gonna suck back through the system, possibly putting air in the system, which is what we're trying to get rid of. So it's important to open the bleeder valve, squeeze the handle, close the bleeder valve. Okay, so down here, we have our one-way check valve, our Motion Pro piece here, and we're gonna wanna prime that. So we're gonna pump fluid up into here. Once fluid gets up into here, this valve won't let it flow back, so it's gonna really help us as far as not getting air in the line. So I'm going to open this up. Go ahead and pull the lever. Stop. Let go. Okay, so we have fluid all the way up in here, so we're going to put it in our bottle. Okay. So now I'm gonna crack it open again, and I'm gonna have him pull a lever again, and then I'll close it. So open, go ahead and pull a lever, close. Okay, I'm gonna open it again, he's gonna pull it, and I'm gonna close the valve again. So open, pull a lever, close. Okay, so during this time, the fluid from the reservoir is being pushed through. So you wanna make sure you don't run that empty, don't run it down past where it brings the fluid in. Because then you're empty, you're gonna start pulling air back into it again. So right now, we have a real good handle on there. It's tight, there's no sponginess whatsoever. So a couple of hand tools, this handy little one-way check valve from Motion Pro makes things a lot easier. Shouldn't take you more than about 15 or 20 minutes. If you have somebody to help you, that's always good. If you have any questions, you can respond in the comment section below, call our 800 number, talk to our techs. You can chat with us. And as always, thanks for watching.